We have been discussing Paris attacks, brutality, barbarism, and evil nature of ISIS, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram. And this has been going on for a while. Well, obviously, it's just one subject out of many 100,000 subjects. And we understand that both evil and divine forces are working. Divinity and evil both are operating, and both are exploring their avenues. And both forces are now seeking to dispense what they are meant to dispense to those who deserve it. I remember His Divine Grace Lord Younus AlGohar saying it, that there are many denominations in religions, in each religion, more than 73 sects in Islam only. However, a time in future would come when the entire humanity will divide into two groups. And slowly but surely, humanity is heading towards that division. And I also remember His Divine Grace Gohar saying that people who would believe and support Lord Jesus Christ and the awaited one, they would believe in these personalities not because of the religion they practice, but all those individuals who want to love God, who want to love humanity, and they may come from any religion. All such people who love humanity, who love peace, who love God, they will flock around Lord Jesus Christ and the awaited one, Sarkar Gohar Shahi. And all the hateful souls, all the hate preachers, and all the mischief mongers and war mongers, they will be the supporters of the Antichrist. They say Antichrist is a very bad person. Now, if I ask you, is there anything worse than what ISIS is doing?
No.
Is there anything worse than what Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram and Taliban are doing? No.
No.
They're doing every bad thing that you could find in a textbook.
True.
Everything. Our current affairs of the world suggests that the world is hanging on a very fragile cliff. And any time Third World War may begin. It would be very interesting, Mir Sahib, to know how many countries would finally come up in support of ISIS and Taliban and Boko Haram. It would be really interesting to know.
It will be, yes.
Right now, everybody is, everybody is having two faces.
Yeah.
True.
One which obviously is a face of terrorism, and under the table they're financing the terrorists and everything.
Right.
And their other face, which they show to the international community, international leaders, is that they also are against terrorism. The Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia does not stop surprising me.
True. Right.
One minute he says terrorism is prohibited in Islam, and the other minute he issues a fatwa and he pressurizes the Saudi government to release all the female inmates and send them to do sex jihad. Send all the female inmates, free all the female prisoners, and send them to sleep with ISIS fighters, warriors, because they think these, idiots are warriors of God. They're not even diplomatic.
No.
And the beauty is, all these countries who are now suffering at the hands of these terrorists, they are well aware of the roots of terrorism. They are aware of the fact that terrorism is fueled by oil money,
Yes.
sponsored by oil money.
Mm.
And Saudi Arabia is the leader. There are so many countries in the Middle East who are eagerly and actively financing the terrorists. A couple of weeks ago, one of the Saudi prince was coming to Lebanon in his private jet. And when the custom authorities ran a check on the goods inside the plane, they found out the entire plane was filled with narcotics and pills that make you go high. Now the speculation which was heard over the grapevine was that these pills were to be transported to Syria. Because when ISIS sends a suicide bomber, they give him a lecture or her a lecture, and then they give these people a dose, a very strong, powerful dose of that drug, and that drug keeps them hallucinated, because 30 minutes prior to taking that drug, whatever is in your mind 30 minutes prior to taking this drug, that thing will keep echoing in your mind. And you are hallucinated. So what happens is, when these individuals who wear explosive jackets and belts, and they, come out in public and they blow themselves up, they're under the effect of the drugs. So the Saudi prince, now look, they're using their diplomatic powers to support the terrorists. All the diplomats of any country are provided with immunity. And, when they bring in stuff from their country to their diplomatic mission in a foreign country, their goods are not checked. They're exempted from custom clearance. I would like to point out this to the USA government, to the UK government, to the European governments, to consider, for the sake of the safety and of their country and national security of their country, to remove the facility of custom clearance from diplomatic immunity. I mean, obviously, you're bringing some legitimate stuff, right? There is no harm if you show it to the authorities that, look, this is what I'm bringing.
True.
Don't stop them. Whatever amount of whatever thing they want to bring in, they should still bring it.
True.
Right? But the benefit of removing this exemption of custom clearance from immunity, diplomatic immunity, will help you determine whether or not they're bringing in stuff which is against your national security.
True. Very good.
Did you get my point, Musa?
Yes, sir.
So this prince had so much drugs in their plane. It was seized by the Lebanese government. And it was to be transported to Syria to give it to ISIS so that they can use it. I tell you again about the usage of this drug among members of ISIS and Taliban and other terrorist groups. Have you seen those videos in which they are beheading people?
Yeah.
You must have noticed all these people are sitting in a row, right? They're chopping their heads off and they're not even moving.
True.
This is impossible.
It is.
I mean, just remember, we used to sacrifice animals in Pakistan on Eid day, yeah? And in order to get hold of one small goat, we would require at least 4 or 5 people. And even then, when you put the knife on the throat of that goat, it would, jump here and there. And how come a human being? They're just sitting there. It's like they have been given, general anesthetic.
True. Very true.
They're sitting in a row, 100, 200 people, and they're just chopping their heads off like they're not human beings, they're just dummies.
True.
I thought a lot about it.
So
And then I came to conclude they are either given general anesthetic or some very strong drug. And they are under the effect of that drug, that they're just sitting there and they're waiting for their turn to be beheaded. I mean, their heads are getting smitten off their body and they don't even move. I mean, is there no pain? And they're so obedient to ISIS that they're not moving their heads. They're not moving their bodies. They don't even feel the pain. All you need is some intellect in your brain and you'll understand that they are under the effect of very strong narcotic drug.
Definitely. True. Definitely.
High potency.
Very true.
Either morphine
Yes.
or even stronger than that.
Very true. Very true.
So what kind of Islam is this then? You're under the effect of drugs, you don't even know. And this is why we ask ourselves, I mean, they're killing children, they're killing women. Don't they have heart in their chest?
They don't.
Don't they feel any remorse? Don't they feel anything bad when they do such things? Not even one tiny bit of compassion is left in their hearts. No, the answer is because they are under the effect of drugs. Their emotions are numb, their body is numb, their brain is numb.
Very true.
It's like they have been hypnotized, mesmerized, and the power of intellect has failed in their heads.
True. Very true.
That's what's happening. So Saudi Arabia is actively, not just Saudi government, one or two or three officials from the government, but the entire royal family. The entire royal family has become a dedicated supporter of these terrorists.
They have.
I have few questions. UN and United States of America, when a country becomes naughty and they don't listen to UN Charter, what happens is that they put sanctions on them.
They do. Yes.
Export, import, all is gone. And a country becomes isolated, almost singled out from international community. And the progress stops there and then. For example, Iran has been under severe sanctions from international community, from United Nations, as a result of which their economy went down and people were so poor in that country. Now, why can't the international community practically isolate ISIS?
Wow.
They say, oh, they have a lot of oil. But who is buying oil from them?
Exactly. Very true.
Who is it? Who is buying oil from them? And why? If some country is buying oil from ISIS, don't you think they are supporting terrorists?
They are. They are supporting terrorists by buying oil.
Right?
Yes.
If ISIS is completely singled out and literally segregated from the world community, do you think they would survive for too long?
Never.
No. But they're enjoying themselves.
True.
Who's buying oil from them? I don't want to say it, but whoever is doing it knows better. If the ISIS is segregated, secluded, isolated from international community, no import, no export, no help, nothing, they're not going to survive for too long. And no importance should be given. If they're beheading people in Syria and Iraq, the media should boycott it.
Very true.
I mean, when 24 hours a day you watch television and all you hear on the television is ISIS and beheading and killing, right? You are actually broadcasting terror.
True.
So true.
Right.
You're spreading the news of terror is actually, you're part of the problem.
True.
You're not part of the solution.
What?
Though you think you're part of the solution, but what you're doing is practically proving the fact that you are part of the problem.
Yes.
The terror was limited to Syria and Iraq. Now with the help of international worldwide broadcast, the terror is reaching all corners of the globe.
It is. Yes.
Media boycott.
Yes. Very true.
There are a lot of things that NASA is aware.
Ji.
NASA is aware the length of time before the end of the world. They know everything.
Ji.
True.
But they do not release this information because they think if we release this information, people will be under great fear. And we do not want to disturb their mental peace. In a similar way, if ISIS is doing something in Syria and Iraq, the media should boycott it,
They should. True. Very nice.
right?
Very good.
I mean, look at our security forces in the UK. In the last 12 months, they have successfully managed to fail at least 12 attempts from terrorists.
Yes. Very true.
The French police is so lazy. I mean, after the attack, they say, oh, he came from there and he was assisted. When you knew all this, why did you let it happen?
Exactly.
You are so aware of everything. You're so well informed. But what were you doing?
Very true.
You know, some of these individuals who are responsible for Paris attack, some of them were on the hit list. They were on the list by the police, and they were wanted for 10 years. They were under the radar
They were.
for at least 10 years.
True.
Still, they were able to do what shouldn't have happened. There are many things that one should do. For example, let me say this, and I do not want any world leader to tell me this is impossible. Because if you say that, that will be bullshit.
True.
What if you cut off internet service from the satellite? There will be no video uploaded from ISIS.
Wow.
Why can't you do it? Oh, there are so many civilians, they want to use it. Oh, you care about them using internet, but you don't care about their life. What is more important? Is it more important that you are able to use internet, or is it more important that you manage to save your life?
Wow. Wonderful.
If the international community and world leaders are serious about liberating humanity from the shackles and from tyranny of ISIS, they should cut off their internet service.
Very nice. Subhanallah.
Cut it off.
Cut it off. Very true.
Entire Syria, entire Iraq.
Wow.
All is fair in love and war.
Yes. Very nice.
Do you agree?
Yes. Completely.
Do you think it's possible, Mr.
It is very possible.
It is possible.
Completely. Totally possible.
If this notion never crossed your mind, then I don't think you deserve to sit in that seat that you're sitting in. Because you're such an idiot. I mean, if you want to tame them, if you want to teach them a lesson, there are so many things. You can do it in 24 hours.
True.
You know, if powers are given without violence, without killing a single soul, you can liberate humanity from the shackles of ISIS, Taliban, Al-Qaeda.
Wow.
Why can't the world leaders cut off their internet service from satellite?
True. Very true.
There should be no satellite mobile service
True.
in these two countries.
Very true. Very nice.
No contact.
No contact.
These mosques used to be terrorist factories, but now what happened is they are radicalizing people over internet.
Internet. Very true.
They are.
Terminate their internet service. And let's see how they go about their mission then.
Very true.
No business, no contact,
Qasam se.
no export, no import. Let them die.
Very true. Very good.
They're all killing. They have no industry.
No, you don't.
They don't do agriculture. Nothing. Everything is imported.
Yes.
Saudi Arabia is importing everything.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
There is one more important point. A considerable amount of people who were radicalized in prisons. They were criminals. They were doing their time in the prison. And in the prison, they were radicalized. How? There are cameras everywhere in the prison. They can hear them, they can watch over them. How did it happen? Why? Why did they let it happen?
Very true.
Now, preaching of any religion should be banned in prisons.
Very true.
Preaching?
Of any religion.
Yes. Preaching of any religion should be banned
In prisons.
in prisons. So what I heard from Sarkar was Third World War would be initiated from Iraq. Sarkar said either it would initiate from Iraq, or if it starts from somewhere else, then Iraq would be the main issue. Iraq.
100%.
This is what I heard from Sarkar. But what I personally want, I want to put a stop on this fast track destruction, so that we can take our mission here and there. Because travel is disrupted.
It is.
We can't travel anymore.
True.
You know, historically speaking, Mesa, Muslims in the United States of America are more peaceful than anywhere else.
True. Very true.
Isn't it so?
That's very true.
Muslims in the United States of America, they're more peaceful. I mean, in Europe, you know, they're like gangsters. I remember a few years ago, we printed a leaflet about Second Coming of Lord Jesus Christ, and we sent some of our members to distribute it in front of Croydon Mosque. And a couple of policemen came and they said, "Don't do it here." And we said, "This is about Jesus. Yeah, are you not Christian?" Yeah, I'm Christian and it's good. It's very nice, but don't do it here. We want peace, okay? We do not want any disruption. So they don't want to create an opportunity for them to retaliate and do some damage. In other words, they have developed some strong voice. They want to impose Sharia law. They come from Egypt and there is no Sharia law in their own country, but they want to impose it in England. There is no Sharia law in Pakistan, but they want to impose it in England, in America. बात ये है कि भाई ठीक है, शरिया लॉ लेके आ जाएं. मुस्लिम शरीयत गैर मज़ाहिब पर क्यों लागू करना चाह रहे हैं आप? या तो ये कह दें कि मुसलमानों की मेजॉरिटी है. क्या मुसलमानों की मेजॉरिटी है यूके में, यूएसए में?
Not at all. No.
यानी 4 मिलियन मुस्लिम जो हैं वो 200 मिलियन जो है क्रिश्चियंस के ऊपर शरीयत का कानून नाफिज करना चाहते हैं. That's ridiculous. That's foolish.
It is foolish.
It's funny. It's really funny, honestly.
True.
It is.
It is so entertaining. It's like a comedy, isn't it?
True.
You want to impose Sharia law in Britain? Why? फिर कहेंगे जी शरिया लॉ में तो सूअर नहीं खा सकते आप, ये नहीं कर सकते, शराब भी नहीं पी सकते हैं. लेकिन इम्पोज क्यों किया जाए यहाँ पर? इनकी मजहब, इनकी शरीयत लागू होगी ना फिर. Let's say it. Let there be no religious law imposed in any country. Let it be a secular system.
Wonderful.
उसमें कम से कम इंसानियत की तो भलाई है.
Aura TV. Guidance. Brought to you